Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Not in my usual setup for the next couple of videos, but I'll be back soon. Anyway, this one we're looking at 5 players you should be looking to buy in your FPL teams for game week 7. Now, the first player is on screen here, Minteh. He was a player that was in this video last week. If you did buy him, then he returned in game week 6. So fantastic news there. He's only 5.9 million, which is just ridiculously priced, considering for me he should be the same as Mitoma. He's got just as much threat as Mitoma. They're both playing in this same team. Their minutes should probably be just as good going forward. I wouldn't have thought that there'd be rotation for one and not the other particularly. I don't really see Mitoma as a more important cog in this Brighton team. Speaking of the Brighton team, they are really clicking into gear now. The last few weeks, their attack has been very, very nice. The last 3 weeks, in fact, Minteh has got all of those goals and assists. So 1 goal, 2 assists in the last 3 weeks. Those shots, 10 shots, 3 shots on target, those numbers are a bit low, given that that's through 6 games. Shots in the box as well, 10. Not great. I mean, he's averaging less than 2 a game. But the XG is pretty good. The XA is pretty good. Big chances created. It's all pretty good. Not only that, the fixtures are fantastic. Game week 7, it's Wolves away. We know how bad the Wolves defence has been so far this season. Newcastle isn't a bad fixture really. United, we've seen how bad they are at the moment. Brentford made them look terrible, which Brentford haven't been great this season. Then it's Leeds at home. Then it's Crystal Palace away. The fixtures are really, really nice. So I think if you're looking for a budget midfielder this week, I think Minteh is where you need to go. Okay, so the second player we're looking at here is Ismaila Sarr from Crystal Palace. Now, he was obviously a really popular pick before he got injured recently. After the first few game weeks, everybody was flocking to buy him. When Palmer got injured, Sarr was a pretty popular replacement for him, and for good reason. Anything, since Eze's left that Palace attack, anything good has kind of gone through Sarr. So we saw in the most recent game against Liverpool, he obviously grabbed a goal. He picked up where he left off before the injury. 3 goals this season in just 4 appearances. That's pretty impressive. Again, similar to Minteh, the shots on target, shots in the box, none of that is particularly impressive. However, the XG is really impressive. 2.7 XG from 4 games is really, really good. Not only that, 2.7 XG from 6 shots is unbelievable. So 4 big chances as well in that time. He's averaging a big chance every single game. There's nothing really not to like about Sarr. He's pretty cheap as well, 6.4 million. So he is definitely one. Again, if you need a midfielder, quite a few of these players in this list today are midfielders, because I think quite a few midfielders are going to be sold this week. So 6.4 million seems like a bit of a bargain for him at the moment, especially given the fixtures. If we have a look down there, Everton away. Now, the Everton defence hasn't been particularly good this season so far. We saw last year that they're a good defence and not such a good attack. It seems to have switched around at the moment. The key piece for them is Branthwaite. He currently isn't back, but if he does come back for this game, then it makes it a much tougher defence. But Bournemouth at home doesn't seem like a bad defence. I mean, Leeds put 2 past them, and I don't think Leeds are the best attack, really. Arsenal in game week 9 is obviously a bad fixture. Arsenal away is about as bad as it can get. They're the best defence in the league by some distance. Brentford at home, the Brentford defence certainly isn't great. Certainly away from home, meaning that that's a great fixture for Crystal Palace. And then it's Brighton at home to finish this 5 game week stretch. So I think that Sarr's a really dependable option. You know you're going to get good minutes, and anything good that goes through that Crystal Palace attack is going to go through him. So I think if you've got 6.4 million and you need a midfielder, then he is definitely one you should be looking at. Right, the third player we're looking at is a bit more of a expensive midfielder, Bukayo Saka. He's currently 9.8 million. As you can see, only played 3 games so far this season because he also got injured. 1 goal, no assists, 3 shots in 3 games, 1 shot on target in 3 games isn't great, don't get me wrong. However, their fixtures to start the season were pretty tough for Arsenal. It was not a great fixture run from game week 1 onwards, so now we can see down here that their fixtures are looking good. West Ham at home now. Potter has been sacked and Nuno has come in, so we probably will expect them to shore up the defence a little bit. We know that Nuno typically starts from the defence rather than the attack. That's what we saw at Forest. He made them a pretty solid defence before he then worked on the attack. I think we'll see that with Nuno at West Ham. However, I don't think we'll see it immediately, meaning that I still think this fixture is a very, very good one for Arsenal. Then it's Fulham away. The Fulham defence isn't bad by any means. I've talked about this in other videos. I really don't mind the Fulham defence. They just don't seem to be able to get clean sheets kind of across the line. They seem to defend really well most games, not give up many chances, but they also don't keep clean sheets. They just concede silly goals. We saw it last weekend where Josh King just gave the ball away in his own half and then Damsgaard scored from it. Pretty poor, but apart from that, didn't give up many chances. So I don't hate that as a fixture. Crystal Palace at home, Burnley away, Sunderland away. So as a 5-game week stretch goes, it is very, very nice. And Bukayo Saka is now back fit. Obviously, the one thing that we do know is that Madueke, who is his most direct competition, given that Madueke, in Saka's absence, was actually playing very, very well. Madueke is now injured, and it sounds like he's going to be out for actually some significant period of time. So I can't really see a situation where Saka doesn't get most of the minutes in that right wing slot anymore. So he's just a great option. If you can find the budget to fit him in, then from game week 7 onwards, he could be a fantastic differential. Okay, the fixtures are too good to not mention another Arsenal player here. Victor Gyökeres is the next player that I'm going to mention, and I've probably pronounced his name wrong, but I'm just going to keep saying it like that because I don't know the actual pronunciation, and if I've got the ability to even say it the way it should be said. So, 5 appearances, 3 goals. Now, again, the fixtures did play a part in these numbers, I believe. 7 shots, 3 shots on target, 7 shots in the box in 5 games really isn't great, especially for a striker playing for a team like Arsenal. We haven't seen Arsenal create much from open play. It's been mainly set pieces that they've created from this season, but I think that's going to change. In my mind, I see Arsenal this season as one of the teams that are going to be like City were in the kind of recent years, where they'll absolutely bully small teams, lower teams in the league, and then just grind out results against the top teams. So this is why I say the fixtures haven't been great so far, and I don't think they're going to be creating much against the top teams, but the fixtures coming up, I think they're going to just dominate in. And Gyökeres is going to do... I'm not saying he's going to be Haaland or similar to Haaland, but I think he'll play a similar role in that where Haaland just used to grab hat-trick after hat-trick against these small teams. I think that Gyökeres is going to do something similar and just be like a flat-track bully. So that's why I really like him. We also think he's going to be on penalties. Now, he's taken a penalty this season, but I don't believe Bukayo Saka was on the pitch when that penalty was taken. So it's slightly up in the air. We did get some news that Gyökeres was probably going to be on penalties before that happened anyway. So hopefully that's the case, because at 9 million, given that there's not a plethora of forwards at the moment to pick from in FPL, 9 million could be really nice for the Arsenal forward that's going to get good minutes and is on penalties, hopefully. The one thing that could scupper this a little bit is Kai Havertz coming back, because before Kai Havertz's injury, I did think that they'd maybe share some minutes, and that could happen when he comes back. But for now, I think he's a really good option. He's even a captaincy option against West Ham at home, to be honest. So like I say, for 9 million, I think he's a really good option if he's on penalties. Right, and the last player we're going to look at is a bit of a different one, given that a lot of people have gone for Reinders, a lot of people have gone for Foden from Man City. I think Doku's a really good option. Now, I'm just going to read out his minutes recently, because with any Man City attacker, be it a forward, be it a midfielder, minutes is kind of the key thing to look at, because we know that Pep rotates players a lot, but if you can find a player in that attack that is playing a lot of the minutes, then they're usually going to be a good option. And at the moment, Doku is playing a lot of minutes. So, I mean, against Burnley, he played 90 minutes, got 2 assists, or 2 fantasy assists at least. Against Arsenal, he played 87 minutes. Against Napoli in the Champions League, he played 69. Against Man United, the game week before that, he played 77, got 2 assists. So that's where his 4 assists have come from. Like I say, I think when you find a player from Man City who's going to get good minutes, he'll generally be a good option. The problem is how long they're going to be getting good minutes for, because Pep changes his mind pretty quickly. But the one thing that we do know is that at the moment he actually doesn't have much competition. Jack Grealish is now left to go to Everton, so he isn't going to get minutes on the left there. Then the only other options really are Oscar Bob, but he seems more like a right winger. That's where Pep's typically used him anyway. And then Savinho. Savinho we saw last season play on the left quite a lot, and it worked, to be honest, because he's got an unbelievable cross into the box, and that worked for Haaland quite a lot. This season we've only really seen him being used on the right, and it also doesn't seem like he's really preferred. But Doku has been playing in these big games against Napoli, against United, against Arsenal. He obviously played against Burnley, not that that's a huge game, but 90 minutes in that one. So at the moment he seems preferred. He's playing really well. Like I say, 4 assists there. The underlines, again, aren't unbelievable. He's creating some big chances. He's got a couple of big chances. His finishing really isn't great, don't get me wrong. But he is a very, very kind of tricky player. He's a proper handful, and he will be putting chances on a plate for Haaland. So he is a good option. The reason he is a good option as well is because he's 6.5 million. I do think Reinders is a better option, but I'm assuming most people already have Reinders, and if they want to triple up on that City attack with Haaland, Reinders and another mid, then you could go Foden, but he's 8 million. Doku at 6.5 seems like a really good budget option. Now that is all for this one. If you liked the video, do hit like, do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.